Alright, I'm going to show you an example before I explain the basics. The basics make it seem like it's going to be complicated, but with the example you'll see that it's not. We have an equation that we're going to have to plug these numbers in, and then we're just going to graph. We're going to say x minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals, and then 4 squared is 16. We're going to take these three numbers and plug them into the equation, put the equation in standard form, and then graph it. We use the center and the radius to graph. So my center is at 3, 2, radius of 4. So I'm going to go up 4, down 4, right 4, left 4, and then connect these dots with line to make a circle. Make sure that you touch each one of these. Make sure that you have some curvature to your line. Don't do this. Don't draw a diamond. Make sure you have curvature and that you touch each dot. If you miss a dot, go back around. Not a big deal. Alright, so the equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. My center point is going to be my hk. So that's where I took my 3, 2 and plugged it in. And then radius is r. So whatever my radius is, I have to square it at the end of the equation. So my radius was 4 and I squared it to be 16. This makes it look like it's going to be more difficult than it actually is. Midpoint and distance formula we will not use on the first couple of worksheets, but I do want to go ahead and put them on the notes because you'll need them later. Midpoint is x1 plus x2 over 2. And y1 plus y2 over 2. Distance formula, y2 minus y1 squared plus y2 minus y1. Oops, nope, x2. x2 minus x1 squared. Alright, so example 2, we're going to do it just like we did the first one. Plug these numbers in, square this one on the end of it. The formula is minus. If we plug in on this one, we have a negative 2. When we do minus negative, it's going to turn into plus. So x minus negative 2 is going to be x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 5 squared is 25. So I'll use these to graph it. Circle doesn't have to be beautiful, just touch each dot. You'll see the pattern here. If this is positive 3, when you plug it in, it's negative. Positive turns negative, negative turns positive, positive turns negative. It'll switch every single time when you're going from center point to the equation. For example 3, we're going to work backwards. I've given you the equation, and you're going to pull out your center and radius and then graph it. So pull out the opposite, pull out a positive 1 and a negative 3. To get my radius, I have to square root. So the square root of 16 is 4. Don't half it. That's a common problem, is people half 16 and want to put 8. You need to square root it. If you're putting it into the equation square, pulling out, square root. So 1 negative 3, radius of 4. So go up 4, down 4, right 4, left 4. Example 4, if there's no number with my x, I'm going to assume it to be 0. I could write x plus 0, but it's not necessary. Adding 0 to anything doesn't change it. So it is usually just left off. So my center point is going to be 0, negative 4. Radius is going to be the square root of 25, which is 5. Okay, 5, we're going to write the center, radius, and equation. Center is 2, negative 5. My radius is 1, 2, 3. There will be several times we're going to have to find our radius. Whatever the distance is from the center point to a point on the circle will be the radius. Alright, so I'll take these three numbers and plug them in. I'm going to have x minus 2, y plus 5 equals 9. So anytime it tells you to write it in standard form on any of the worksheets, it says to write in standard form, you're going to be writing this. 6, my center point, center radius equation. Center is negative 5, 1. Radius is 3 again. So my equation is going to be x minus this, y minus this equals this squared. Minus negative turns to plus 5. Y minus 1 squared equals 3 squared is 9. Alright, and number 7, center radius equation. Center is 0, 0. Radius is 5. Equation, there's two correct ones. I don't care which one you use. You could do x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 5 squared is 25. Or with it being 0, subtracting 0 from anything doesn't change it. So you could just say x squared plus y squared equals 25. I will give full credit for either one of these. They're both correct. Do get comfortable with seeing this though, because this is how they're going to have it on a worksheet. They're not going to write in the extra unnecessary zeros. So just know that this would be 0, 0.